video will discuss sexual assault, workers' rights violation, capitalist exploitation, ideation, and people getting injured and dying on roller coasters. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Welcome to Six Flags Magic Mountain, the thrill capital of the world. Located in Valencia, California, and here today we have ourselves a little week.
There once was a town that played so hard, there was just no time for work. But that all changed on this one particular day.
I just got a job because I need to survive. Is there another way we could do this?
How many times have they slammed the door in your face? Because the labor you do is called unskilled.
That's right.
Well, the IWW's not going to turn you down because you're unskilled. Or skilled. Or black. Or white.
So I got a job working at a theme park. I've been working at this theme park for over a year now, almost a year and a half. And you know, ever since I started working at this theme park, I've learned that I hate humanity. Like, it's like ever since I started working here, I actually started to realize that I just have no hope for humanity. But regardless of that fact, that's irrelevant to what I want to talk about today. I want to talk to you about why I hate my job. Every time I tell somebody I work at a theme park, they're always like,
"Oh my god, you work at a theme park? That must be so much fun! You get to go on all the rides!"
I hate working here. I hate the people that come to the park. I hate the guests. I hate the customers. I hate everyone here. Them. What I do here at the theme park, well, in brief description, I control the line. That's what I do. I control the line. So when I'm trying to control the line and I'm asking people how many are in the group, and they tell me, like, for example, 2, right? And I'm just like, okay, fine, 2. So let's see. Do I have room for 2 people? Yes, I do have room for 2 people. I'll use that basis to give these 2 people a seat. So I let 2 people in, and then like the people behind them go, and I'm just like, oh God. And so then I think for a second, okay, so they didn't really have 2 people with them. They had more than 2 people with them. They had an entire family. They just didn't know how to count. And it's sad because some of these people are actually related to them by blood. I would be ashamed if I were them. But you know what's even worse is when you have the gate open because there's not that many people there. There's no real reason to have a line in the first place. And people just like sit there. Like wondering, oh, can we go? Did I ever fucking tell you to stop? Did a force like put a field around you and tell you that you have to sit here for all damn eternity? And sometimes they even sit there when you tell them, hey, you can go. Okay, come on. Come on through, guys. When you use basic communication, even then, they don't fucking get it. I don't understand why.
They say they're draining the water from Hurricane Harbor over here, but realistically speaking, this is a pretty shitty way to drain your water.
What gets my blood to a boil the fucking most, is when somebody asks for the front. I mean, like, are you kidding me? Do you not understand that there are over 10,000 of you in a line at a time? Do you not understand that there are so many people, about a good fraction of you, want the front? Can you be humble for once? Do you not understand that you are not significant on this planet? It's like as if they feel self-entitled or some shit like that. Like they feel like I'm special. Me special. Me, I want front. Bitch, you ain't getting the front. Fuck you. I mean, if you ask nicely, I'll try to see if I can make you wait a little while. That way, like, you know, if you wait a little bit longer, then I can probably get you the front.
You could recycle it. You could put it in the sewer if you really want to be that lazy. But this is just pathetic.
I also fucking hate it, and it makes my job even harder when people try to sneak in, or they just try to go into the wrong entry, and they try to act like they're dumb or something, like, oh, well, we didn't fucking know, like, we didn't see a sign or anything. Yes, you fucking did. In fact, I even wrote one for you. And when they get mad at that, they ask,
where's your manager?
And I know that's not a theme park exclusive issue. It's something that happens all the fucking time. And you know what's even awkward is that sometimes I'm the only one with the authority within a mile radius because the theme park is fucking huge. So they have to inform me about the issue, an issue that I have no control over. Now, sometimes rides just go down. Nothing's perfect. No piece of machinery is going to be unstoppable and unbreakable. Pieces of machinery on certain rides tend to break very frequently. And so when I'm just sitting here trying to help the line out and trying to inform the people as to what's going on as best as I can without giving classified information, then they feel self-entitled like,
Hey, we waited for line so long. And, waiting like for 2 hours and we want to go to another ride. Is there like a way you can give us special privileges to come back to the ride?
I'm sorry, but we do have an express lane, but the express lane is only for people who pay for the express lane or people with a handicap pass. And then you get these fucking douchebag conservative people that go,
Well, there's nothing wrong with it. He lives perfectly fine. It's like, he's just, mooching off the welfare shit.
and I'm just like, are you kidding me right now? Are you fucking high? I even had a guy with a Duck Dynasty shirt say that to somebody one time, and then he's like, excuse me, and turned around and he had a hearing aid on. However, I love when they ask for direction, and like for example, like, where do I go to guest relations, for example? And I go, okay, so just go that way. And then they literally go that way. Like, I shit you not. I've actually stopped somebody before and said, no, don't stop where you're going. I said that way. And then instead they just say,
Oh, okay.
and then they keep going that way. I mean, like, are you kidding me?
Now let me tell you something. As of August 2014, the U.S. Drought Monitor has stated that California is an 80% drought. Keep that in mind when this shit is happening in your favorite theme park.
So my complaints here today are not generally for all the fields within a theme park. There are lots of jobs within a theme park, like ride ops and manager and maintenance and things like that. But for me, I have to deal with the general public, and dealing with the general public is fucking degrading. It feels like I'm losing hope for humanity every day. I've actually considered several times. And it's like, I wonder how these people even live off of these wages. So I guess I should be thankful.
We are talking about a suspended swinging ride high in the air at speeds of 4 Gs around those turns, and for the people who were stuck on it,
Incoming units to Magic Mountain.
the riders were trapped for nearly 3 hours. 22 people dangling precariously. 4 people sent to the hospital after riding a roller coaster known as the Ninja at Six Flags Magic Mountain Amusement Park outside Los Angeles. Rescue workers say a tree branch fell on the tracks late Monday evening, derailing the first car and forcing it to shut down.
There's obviously a lot of panic, confusion when something like this happens.
According to a 2006 Amusement Safety Organization report, many reports include nosebleed and heat exhaustion up to neck and back injuries to various safety concerns. On December 27, 1978, a woman by the name of Carol Flores died after falling out of the ride of Colossus. In June 6, 1993, 7 people suffered injuries when one of the trains rear-ended another. On September 8, 2014, a fire broke out on top of Colossus. Keep in mind that they were in the process of converting Colossus into Twisted Colossus. By the way, I remember this incident, and I remember working that day, and I was not allowed to take the day off. On February 5th, 1978, a gondola car on Eagle's flight traveling to the Galaxy's course fell 50 feet, 15 meters, to the ground. In the car was a newlywed couple. The husband was killed, and the wife suffered serious injuries, including losing her legs.
Oh my god!
On June 2nd, 2001, 28-year-old Pearl Santos died of a brain aneurysm while riding Goliath. After her family sued, involving the complaints of other Goliath riders, they just kept the ride up anyway, as you can see in my video.
Oh my god!
On August 30th, 2008, 20-year-old Carlos Ibanez was hospitalized after being hit by a train and knocked unconscious when he allegedly climbed multiple security fences to retrieve a hat.
Oh my god!
On July 18, 1978, the braking system of the roller coaster malfunctioned, which caused the train to go 3 feet, 0.91 meters, backwards on the ride's lift hill when it was up the 75 feet, 33 meter incline of its midpoint. Of the 22 people who were aboard that ride, 10 of them suffered injuries. On May 30th, 1996, 25-year-old park attendant. On June 13th, 2015, 10-year-old Jasmine Martinez, who was riding the roller coaster, was found unconscious but breathing after returning to the ride station. She died the following day. Allegedly, she died from natural causes unrelated to the ride itself.
Oh my god!
On April 9, 2004, 21-year-old Bentita Rakchamaran died after being struck by the roller coaster while underneath the track during a test run prior to the park's opening that day.
Oh shit!
On May 20th, 1990, one of the ride's boats became stuck on top of this lift hill, which it caused the two boats to collide with each other after the splashdown. The collision resulted in minor cuts and bruises to 6 passengers. A 7th passenger, a 9-year-old who bumped his head, was sent to the Henry Mayo Newhall Memorial Hospital for observation and was released.
Horace, son of a bitch!
A lot of you may not know that job in question that I had at Six Flags Magic Mountain, that was a long time ago. And it was interesting because, like, I had to rewatch not only a very old version of myself that, you know, still gives me a lot of pain to watch, but also, just more importantly, just to remember all the pain that I did go through. I got physically assaulted sometimes. I got assaulted sometimes. I got harassed sometimes. I had people hit on me at work. I had people, you know, touch my people just think that's okay to do when you're at a theme park, because you're not really a person at a theme park, you're kind of just a cog in the system. And I remember that was a feeling that I very much had at that time. I talk about a lot of the times when I have been radicalized into anarchist thought and things like that, but I also don't really think about the times where I was radicalized to be a fucking anti-capitalist. They always say that, you know, you have to save up, you know, and the opportunity will, you know, present itself to you because this is the land of opportunity or some shit like that. Some perverted fucking, you know, wacko ass fantasy, you know. Like, that's what they call the American dream anyway, right? But, you know, that's not what it really is. It's not even remotely close. I remember one time I was just done with work. Like, I was like finished with my shift. I sat down. I decided, because, you know, I have to literally walk a mile in order to get to my car from where where my office was. By the way, that whole job, you have to do a fuck ton of walking. And I mean, like, a ridiculous amount of walking. Like, you know, to do your job. Not to mention to report to your station or to, you know, your car. If you need to go to your car to go home. And I remember thinking, like, this job is just using me as a cog in the system. Like, I remember having to just sit there, watch all the people go on the rides, buy some food, have some fun. I remember seeing, like, how the fucking theme parks functioned and operated. As if, like, you know, all the workers at the different, you know, intersections of the theme park and the different, you know, aspects of the theme park. It's not like they owned the theme park, but, like, you know, the workers were the ones out there having to deal with the plethora of customers and guests, and they were out there, as well as me, out there, you know, in sweltering fucking Southern California hot, heat-ass fucking
mess. Look at all of these pictures of me having a fucking heat stroke in literal 120 degrees weather. And on top of that, like, there were times where we had very suspiciously yellow water to, like, you know, drink from, you know, because they didn't give us like normal clear water for some odd conspicuous reason. It doesn't matter when, like, you get people from all over the world literally like burning in the heat in the lines that you had to operate, and you can't do anything about it. And that's really the big thing, right? Like, all these people that I was complaining about, I didn't realize it at the time, but they were all getting scammed. They literally like charge up the ass prices just to be able to like reserve time at, like, you know, a specific ride. They were scammed, and sometimes they pay like $700 for this shit. And then, like, you know, I would have to fucking hear from them. I would have to fucking put up with their bullshit. And I was going to school back then. I was gonna be a veterinarian. But, you know, having worked at Six Flags, you know, I didn't have the mental fucking energy to not only work at a fucking strenuous fucking job like Six Flags, but also to just do the academic work, and on top of that, volunteer at veterinarian hospitals and, you know, have to, you know, deal with animals dying every single fucking day. When I say in that video that, like, I was like earlier in the one from 2014, I really fucking meant it. I could not. This doesn't relate to Six Flags, but you can imagine Six Flags not making this whole thing easier on myself. But when I worked at the veterinarian hospital, like, there was this one guy who came in one day, and everyone was in the back, and the guy was, he came in with a dog who had been clearly run over by a vehicle. His eyes were popping out. The guy went on his bike. He didn't own the dog, and he said, look, and this pit bull is about to die. You need to save him, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll get your information. And then, like, he just ran away. Okay, fine. You know what? Probably doesn't have insurance. Probably the ethical thing to do is to fucking treat him. I put him in one of the rooms, and the owner just flat out came up to me after they were, I don't know, fucking in the back or something. I don't know. I mean, they said that they couldn't treat him because he wasn't insured. So I watched that pit bull die. This is what I mean, like, capitalism literally fucking favors profit over people's lives, over animals' lives even. Keep in mind, I was going to school at this time in order to be a veterinary doctor, and lo and behold, I work for this fucking piece of shit company, and they have so many fucking workers violations and environmental rights violations and fucking OSHA violations. Here's some facts about Six Flags Magic Mountain. In 2012, Six Flags Magic Mountain was accused of environmental pollution, especially in the Santa Clara River. In the Santa Clara River, there were high volumes of contaminated water and also trash with the logos of Six Flags Magic Mountain on said trash. Because of the course of the Santa Clara River, all of that trash would be going to the Pacific Ocean. Please keep in mind, in terms of the ecology, there's a lot of threatened species that are going extinct at the moment, including, but not limited to, unarmored three-spined stickleback, steelhead, southwestern pond turtle, and Bell's Vieira. This bullshit happened as early as 2012. Keep in mind that working for a job like Six Flags in Southern fucking California, where it is so asinine hot that it can get to 120 degrees on a good day, it can get excruciatingly fucking miserable down there. In 2016 to 2017, the Machinists Union, representing 170 ride mechanics, stage technicians, electricians, welders, and landscapers and painters and other maintenance workers, who all range from $12 to $35 an hour, began organizing and going on strike against Six Flags Magic Mountain. The Machinist Union were demanding the company extend full benefits to all bargaining unit employees, especially employees who put in more than 30 hours a week, several months a year, regardless of their classification. While it is true that Six Flags does classify its employees based on part-time and full-time employment, Sue Carpenter, Six Flags Magic Mountain Communications Manager, had this to say.
Six Flags Magic Mountain has
always had a very positive relationship with the local union, and we are continuing to negotiate in good faith. Our goal is to avoid a work stoppage and to ensure no interruption in park operation. We always want our guests to have an amazing experience. So the park will be open, maintaining our high guest service standards.
Nevertheless, they had replacement workers on standby in case things went hairy.
All workers are disposable under the capitalist free market model.
I could be doing something like mutual aid. I could be doing something like building dual power structures. I could be actually giving back to my community. But no, I'm feeding into the fucking pockets of a fucking capitalist system. I'm giving my labor to these fucking capitalists who never even set foot in the fucking park to begin with. Actually, I'm lying. They did step in the park sometimes to enjoy the fucking park. Listen, if you're working at Six Flags, if you're working at like Disneyland or Hurricane Harbor or anything like that, if you're really just like suffering, sleeping in your car like me, working hours on end, fucking unionize, like organize, like join the IWW, join an org, like get your fucking like workspace democratically run. Advocate for things like workplace democracy and more importantly, workers' ownership of the means of production.
And for that we need power. And there's only one way to get power. Organize. All the workers together. One big union. And the war the IWW wants you to get into is class war. Not a war in Europe. War against the capitalists.
Have a good day.
Hey, you like my content? Do you really like my content? You can support me with the links in the description. I need that ramen, baby. I need that ramen. You know how it be. My belly be grumbling and a trumbling and a humbling. Give me the ramen, baby.